suggest to you that the most important thing that we do at our very first lesson is the concept and the development of tone. And I'm going to share with you how you can get a great sound on instruments on that very first day, okay? So that perked up some of your ears, because then, you kidding me? You haven't heard my band on the first day. And I can relate to that because I was there too. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is tone. Well, what are the major components of tone? First of all, it's air. So how are we going to teach breathing? And I'm going to share with you a few techniques. And then the next is embouchure. And also, we're going to take a look at and say, okay, under air, what are the three components that relate to air? First of all, it has to do with posture. Now, when I went to college and went to math classes, they said, make sure you have your kids. By the way, Lance, these are really nice chairs, aren't they? They're great chairs. But when I went to college, everyone said, okay, you have your kids sit up straight and so on and so forth. Well, I'm sitting up straight and I'm sitting incorrectly, okay? Then they said, well, sit up straight and have your back off the chair. And I'm sitting up straight, and my back is off the chair, but I'm sitting incorrectly. Now, you say, well, how then do you teach kids to sit properly in a short amount of time? Think about that when you were taking methods classes. Think way back. Some of us have to think a little harder than others about that. But if you remember, when we were taking particularly our studio classes, they probably had us standing up when we were doing our playing of our instrument. Right? Okay? Some of you are giving the universal symbol for yes. Okay? Good. Now, and they did that because they said, okay, you can probably breathe better. The problem with that premise is, it's probably true, but the problem with that is that almost all of our playing is done where? While being seated. So what we have to do is we have to replicate the feeling of standing while seated. It's easy to accomplish. All we have to do is sit in such a way that the weight is on our feet. And you say, well, how do I know if a child's weight is on their feet? Have them stand right straight up. If they're having to go over and up, they're seated too far back. Or if there's someone saying, I'm going to do this one, and he's not going to see me bent over, but if they have to use a lot of leg muscles, then they're seated too far back. So continually have them scooch forward on their chair until there's weight on their feet so they can stand right straight up. Now the reason that that's important is because we need to be able to relax the abdomen area, and that's the only way we can do that is by feeling as though we're standing even while we are seated, okay? The next thing I do, maybe